Hello. Welcome to studentlearning.in, your e-learning buddy. Welcome back to our channel, guys. If you are new to this channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to join the family.
Today's class agenda is HBase in big data. HBase is a very important part of big data. So basically, HBase is a distributed column-based database built on top of the Hadoop system, or you can say that it's an open source environment. Basically, HBase is a top layer of Hadoop infrastructure or Hadoop ecosystem. HBase data model is similar to Google Bigtable. That means it's designed to quick random access to large amount of structured data type. That means HBase is work on Google Bigtable means today's very huge companies like Amazon, Flipkart are also work on Google Bigtables and also work on structured type data. Structured type data means all the data is arranged in row column format. It is a part of Hadoop ecosystem that provide random real-time read and write access to data in the Hadoop file system. That means with the help of HBase, you can access any type of data in readable format or in writable formats. First, I am going to explain HBase versus RDBMS. That means what is the difference between HBase and RDBMS. So, in terms of definition, RDBMS means it's a relational database management system, or in terms of HBase there is a no full form. In terms of SQL, RDBMS is fully support to SQL, that means structure query language. But in case of HBase, there is no need to any type of SQL structure. In terms of schema, RDBMS has a fixed schema, but in case of HBase, there is no fixed schema. HBase is also depend on requirement, so schema can be vary on the requirement. Next is in terms of orientation. RDBMS, we know that it's a row-based coordinate system, that means record-based. But in case of HBase is a column-based oriented system. Next is in terms of scalability. RDBMS faces problem in scalabilities, but HBase is high scalable. In terms of nature, DBMS is a static in nature. That means all the component of DBMS, all the records in DBMS in static form. But in case of HBase, all the records in a dynamic form. In terms of RDBMS, the data retrieval is very slow, but in terms of HBase, the data retrieval is very fast in compared to RDBMS. Next rule, RDBMS is basically follow the rule of acid. Acid means its atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. But in terms of HBase follows only CAP. CAP means consistency, availability, and partition tolerance rule. It's a very important part of HBase. Next is data structure. RDBMS handles structured data only, but in case of HBase handle structured data, non-structured data, and semi-structured data. That means it can handle all type of data in terms of structure, in terms of semi-structure. That means we can handle any type of graphics or any type of video data in terms of HBase. Last is a sparse data handling. Sparse data handling is not present in case of RDBMS, but it can present in the HBase data model. Next, I am going to explain what is the difference between HBase and Hadoop. It is very important in terms of HBase. So in terms of meaning, Hadoop mainly based on HDFS and MapReduce, or we can say that there are two components in case of Hadoop. First is HDFS, second is MapReduce system. But in case of HBase stands for Hadoop database. That means in case of HBase is basically handle all kind of Hadoop databases in terms of concept. Hadoop is a Java-based framework in which HDFS store the large amount of dataset and MapReduce perform operation on it. That means we can say that in terms of Hadoop is basically support to all the framework of Java, and with the help of MapReduce function, we can perform or we can analyze on the key value mapping pair. But in terms of HBase is a Java base, not only SQL, but it supports to NoSQL database which runs on top of the Hadoop system. So in case of HBase, that is very simple. HBase is also a Java base but not support to SQL, or it's basically support to no SQL database. In terms of storage, datasets are divided into subsets called as chunks, and chunks store across the cluster in terms of Hadoop. But in terms of HBase, data storage in the table format in HDFS, and HBase stores data as key value pairs. That means all the data stored in HBase in the form of key value pairs. Applicabilities in terms of Hadoop, HDFS has fixed architecture which does not allow changes. It does not support dynamic storage. It's a fixed kind of structure in terms of Hadoop. But in case of HBase allow runtime changes that can be used for standalone application. That means we can change any runtime application with the help of HBase, but in case of Hadoop that is not possible. Next, in terms of flexibility to read write, Hadoop allow HDFS for reading many times but read once. That means in terms of Hadoop, we can follow or we can use mostly write type of operation. But in case of HBase, we can use read, write, storage in HDFS. Availability and accessible. Highly available and fast accessible as data stored on different nodes. Different nodes means like name node or data node in terms of Hadoop. But in terms of HBase, datasets are available and easily accessible. Just because HBase is a column family based data, that means datasets are easily available and you can access very easily. In terms of scalability, like Hadoop, multiple nodes can be added to cluster, hence highly scalable. That means Hadoop is highly scalable, but in terms of HBase, huge amount of data can be stored because the infrastructure or storage system of HBase is entirely different in compared to Hadoop. Now this is the architecture of HBase. So these are divided into four parts. First is HBase, second is HDFS, data producer and data consumer. And there are two type of operations like read operation and write operation, and all the components are connected to each other with the help of different layers. Next is storage mechanism in HBase. The storage mechanism is HBase is based on column family. That means there are number of column families in HBase. So column families means column family is a collection of columns, and column is a collection of key value pair. Row is a collection of column families, and table is a collection of rows. So this is a proper set of data set in terms of HBase. These are column families. There are three columns. Row keys is employee ID in terms of personal data and professional data. There are two values of personal data, name and city, and there are two values of professional data, that is designation and salary. Or we can say that personal data has two components and professional data has two components, and both are column families. And there is another column that is called row keys. Next is features of HBase. So there are a lot of features in terms of HBase. First one, HBase is linearly scalable. It is automatic failure support system. That means HBase has automatic failure support system. Third one is it provide consistent read and writes operation. That means the performance is very high in terms of read and write operation in case of HBase. It integrates with Hadoop both as a source and a destination mode. It has easy Java API for client. That means the application programming interface of Java that is easily available in case of HBase. It provides data replication across all the cluster and many type of clusters. Next is application of HBase. So there are a lot of application in HBase. The first one, it is used whenever there is a need to write heavy application, or we can say that in case of heavy application, in case of huge application of video, audio, images, so always we can go for HBase. Second one, HBase is used whenever we need to provide fast random access to available data. That means if we need fast random access, in this case we can choose HBase. Third one, companies such as Facebook, Twitter, Yahoo and Adobe use HBase internally because it's a very important framework. Next is H shell in HBase. So HBase is a shell using which you can communicate with the HBase, or you can say is a script of HBase. So HBase uses the Hadoop file system to store its data and will have a master server and region server. The data storage will be in the form of regions. These regions will be split up and stored in the region servers. So we can say that HShell is a script of HBase. So there are a lot of command of HShell. First command is status. With the help of status, that means provide the status of HBase. That means the number of servers, total number of servers available in the clusters. Second one is version. This command is basically used to provide the HBase version being used. Third one is table help. Provide help for table reference command. Who am I? It's a very important command in HShell. With the help of this command, it's provide the information about the users. So HBase is again divided into two parts. First is data definition language and second one is data manipulation language. So in terms of data definition language, there are a lot of commands. There is a create command. With the help of create command, we can create a table. There is a list command. With the help of this command, list all the tables in the HBase. There is another command. The command name is disable. With the help of disable command, we can disable any table of HBase. Another command is underscore disable. This command, with the help of this command, we can verify whether a table is disabled or not. There is another command. The command name is enable. With the help of command, we can enable a table. Next command is underscore enable command. With the help of this command, verify whether a table is enabled or not. Next is describe command. With the help of this command, we can provide the description of the table. Description of the table means how many columns of the table, name of the column, data type of the columns, column families, and rows, about rows ID of the tables. Alter command. So with the help of alter command, we can alter a table in terms of data, in terms of columns, or in terms of name. Exist command. With the help of exist command, we can verify whether a table is exist or not. Another command, drop command. With the help of drop command, we can delete or drop a table from HBase warehouse. So another is DML command. So first DML command is put command. With the help of put command, put a cell value at a specified column in a specified row in a particular table, because HBase is based on column family. So cell is a very important command. Cell is play a very important role in case of HBase. So we can put the value inside the cell with the help of put command. Get command. With the help of get command, fetches the content of a row or a cell. That means we can fetch the value of cell with the help of get command. Next is delete command. With the help of delete command, we can delete the cell value in a table. So in case of HBase, cell is a very important part of DML command. Next command is delete all command. With the help of delete all command, you can delete cells in a given row. That means you can delete number of cells in a given row. Scan command. A scan command is basically used to scan and return the table data. That means you can return the exact data of the table with the help of scan command. Count command. Count command is basically used to count the number of rows in a table. Last is a truncate command. With the help of truncate command, we can disable, drop, and recreate a specific table as per the requirement.
Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your questions in the comment section down below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Student Learning. Check out more courses from us and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, basically everywhere. The link is always in the description. We will be back with more lectures. Stay tuned and have a good day. Bye.